In other news, a British wildlife photographer has taken what's thought to be the first photographs of a black leopard. In more than a century, the animal's black coat occurs as a result of a condition called melanism, which is the opposite of albinism. There you go. Extremely rare, but photographer William Lucas caught this one on camera at Laikipia, I think, something like that. I'm sure he'll correct me. Wilderness camp in Kenya, after hearing reports of sightings in the area. Mr. Lucas is joining us now. Hello to you. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. A bit busy today, but it's good that
I'm
these
sure you are.
really seem to
Tell me about your pictures.
Imagination. Yeah, so I took them last month in Laikipia in Kenya, and I heard rumours that this leopard had been seen there, and they've never really been photographed to a high level in Africa before, and so I thought it was worth just checking out these rumours to see if I could get some really special photographs.
Okay, so how did you go about it?
So I heard the rumours from a friend, and they put me in touch with Steve from Laikipia Wilderness Camp, who had seen a black leopard, and he then introduced me to this lady Louisa, who had seen one very recently. And so I travelled to see her, and she showed me around the area and showed me where she thought the leopard was sort of spending its time. And so we hunted around and found leopard tracks on one of the paths. And we guessed that this, we didn't know that it was the black leopard, but, there was a chance it would be the black leopard that left these tracks. So we decided to try and set up my camera traps there to see what I could get. And after 3 or 4 nights, black leopard passed by, got the first shot. And thereafter, I deployed a whole range of camera traps in and around the area to get the series that you've seen. They're
absolutely spectacular. It's difficult to get a photograph of a leopard at the best of times, but a black leopard that is so unusual. I mean, did you set up the cameras and go away, or did you actually think, you know what, I want to see this for myself as well?
Yeah, so I set up the cameras in the evening, and then I'd leave them overnight. And at first I left them for a few days at a time because I wasn't really expecting to get much, if I'm honest. But then after I started getting these photos, I would be up at the crack of dawn, eager to check what I might have got overnight. And so, yes, I'd check them every morning, and then maybe reset them or adjust some settings to get some more interesting lighting or something like that, and then leave them running the next night. And the leopard is pretty much, from my camera traps anyway, only moving around at night. So I was setting up for these night shots. I never actually saw this particular black leopard, but I've always been fascinated by black leopards. And actually last year I did go to India specifically to try and see one, and I managed to catch a glimpse of one there. So it's been a bit of a quest, this journey.
How difficult is it to film a black leopard in the dark?
Yeah, so it is pretty challenging to get the exposure right. So I had to do a lot of trial and error, really, to find out how I could light this subject to make it look good, because really it was unlike any subject I've ever photographed before. And what I found, though, by playing around and experimenting with the lighting, it's such a spectacular subject to photograph at night, because you really just see those amazing eyes popping out of the darkness. So I discovered it really was a very special and spectacular subject to photograph at night. And
everybody around the world is really enjoying these images. What's next for you? What else is there left to try and find as a wildlife photographer?
To be honest, while this leopard is still there, I'm actually going to head back out there in a couple of weeks to try and get a few more shots. When I first went out there in January, it was kind of a recce trip, and I didn't really expect to get much. So I wasn't that prepared. But now that I've been there and I've seen what's possible, I've got a few shots in my mind that I think could be even better. So I'm going to try and get some more photos. The question is whether the leopard will stick around, because he's a young male, and this is the sort of age where he would be getting pushed off by his mother to go find his own territory. So he might be gone next time I go back, and they might be the last photo they ever get. But I'm going to try and get...
But if you don't see him, you might see his mum. Who knows? Because if she's shoving him out the territory, who knows whether you'll see her or not. It's fantastic. Yeah, Thank you so much for sharing these images with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Our black leopard in the wild. Oh, yeah, here on the show.